The emergency broadcast system told us that the celestial event tonight would be dangerous. They told us to never look up at the night sky or the moon, and to not interact with anybody that appeared in the corner of our eyes. To face away from the window and never look back at it, and to wait for the sun to rise once more and end the event. We didn't know what was happening outside, but we didn't want to risk finding out. I laid awake in my bed, facing away from the windows, underneath the blankets with my eyes shut tight. I was alone in my house. My roommates went out for drinks that night, and they said they'd be back by 2 a.m. Every now and again, I'd hear a blood-curdling scream from outside, which would go on for minutes, before suddenly stopping. It was 4 a.m., and my entire house was silent and dark, and there was not a trace of life. The entire neighborhood was silent, save for the screams of those who looked up every now and again. Creak, creak, creak. I heard from outside my bedroom door. Creak, creak, creak. Every creak got louder and louder. Was somebody in my house? How did they get in? The doors and windows were locked. Creak, creak, creak. Loud, louder, yet louder. The sounds drawing ever closer. The fear cutting deeper, deeper, yet deeper. The creaking stopped suddenly, and then I heard the sound that made my hair stand on end. Creak! A long, drawn-out creak of an old door that was opening slowly. I was frozen in fear, with nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. I began to tremble internally. The sounds of footsteps grew closer to my bed, step, step, step. It drew ever closer, and the sound ever louder with each step. I shut my eyes tight and pretended to sleep. I held my breath, hoping that the figure would leave before I ran out of air. It was now lingering over my bed, a foul smell that could only be described as something holding onto dear life by a rotting thread. It ripped away the blanket and revealed me to it. It stared me down. I laid in bed, not making a sound nor a movement. Its ragged breathing sounded like a fish out of water, like its lung had been slashed and mauled to the point of only being able to function just enough to support bodily functions. I couldn't hold my breath anymore, and with a loud gasp, I breathed for my life. It immediately took notice of this and grabbed me and dragged me towards the door. I clung to the doorframe for dear life, but the pulling got stronger. I felt multiple hands grasping me, pulling me out of my room. When I no longer had the strength to keep myself on that doorframe, I was quickly pulled away and taken by an indeterminable amount of things. That dragged me onto my front lawn. I screamed. I screamed a blood-curdling scream that pierced the silence of the neighborhood like a javelin. For 15 minutes, I struggled and screamed, trying to keep them from forcing my eyes open. Their rotten hands all over me, ripping and tearing at my skin and trying to pry my eyelids open, until it all suddenly stopped. I got up. This was a mistake, however, as now they had better leverage on me. They suddenly started pulling and prying again, but this time, I had no way to stop them. With my head pointed at the sky, they opened my eyelids, and my eyes started feasting on the light that emanated from the moon. It was beautiful. When I looked up at that night sky, I saw